we're live.
Hi.
Oh, I'm so blessed and excited to be on again with my awesome friend and sister, Amanda. And I met her about 2 months ago when my cousin and I were looking, trying to find somebody for a really amazing essential oils and somebody who put God first in her business and was not pressury and was different. You know what I mean? And I love your approach, Amanda. And we had that in common where we really want to put Christ first in our business and people first in our business. So talk a little bit about how I guess you got into it and then how you're making it different.
Sure. Okay, so I'm going to start by giving you a little bit of history on me. I think I've shared some of this with you before, Kat. But when I was in college, I was trying to decide on a major, and I had looked at a lot of different options. I love to write, and I love to connect with people and communicate. So I had looked at like journalism, I looked at English being a major. And then I decided, you know what, if I have this one opportunity to learn something more in depth, then this is the only chance I'll get, to study at this level, maybe ever in my whole life. What is the most important thing to spend my time and my money learning about? And when I looked at it that way, it was just so clear that studying God's word was the most beneficial thing that I could do with that time and that money. And a lot of people said to me, well, what are you going to do with that? You can't be a pastor, Southern Christian school. You can't be a pastor. Ministry doesn't pay very much. Like what are you going to do with that? And I thought, you know what, maybe I'll write some books or Bible studies or, I'm not worried about it because I want to be faithful to where God is calling me. And it's just so clear to me that investing in his word, there's always going to be a return on that. And there's never going to be something that I have to worry about if I'm drawing close to him and I'm trusting in his word. So I got a Bible degree, and I always thought maybe I would be on the mission field, like smuggling Bibles into China or doing some kind of ministry to church. I interned in a women's ministry program that was just amazing. And I have a heart for encouraging women and supporting women in all different walks of life. And so I really thought maybe I'll do a Bible study or, I didn't know what was going to happen, but it didn't matter because I knew that my life and my journey was in God's hands. So when I graduated, I ended up getting married and I got a alternative certification in teaching. So I taught school for 3 years, and then I started having kids, and I was home. And a friend of mine introduced me to essential oils. Now, I had a lot of other friends who had done different network marketing businesses, and they all seemed really nice, but I needed something that would really impact other people's lives in a long-term, significant way. Because that's just where my heart is. My heart is to really minister to the people around me and serve them and encourage them. And I'm not a salesperson. I've never done any kind of sales, anything before. When I had to do those fundraisers, like when we were kids and you had to sell chocolate bars, whatever, I could sell zero. Like, I just wanted to eat them. So I couldn't, my sister was really good at it. I would knock on doors and people would be like, no thanks. So I never really liked being in that position where people felt like I was selling them something. And so a friend of mine shared some essential oils with me when we were having some health concerns. And I used them for about a year, just using them for myself and learning about them. And I was at home with my daughter, and she was a baby, about maybe one, a little bit older than that. And I was like, you know what? This is a way that I can really help people. If I can help people by helping them learn about health and learning how to take care of themselves and be good stewards of their bodies, like this is something I'm already interested in. I already have the ability to speak and to teach. I'd already been a teacher, and God had given me these gifts already of communication. then maybe this is something I should look into. So I was reading one day in Proverbs 31, and in Proverbs 31, it talks about how she has skills. She seeks wool and flax and works with willing hands. She is like the ships of the merchant. She brings her food from afar. She rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and portion for her maidens. She considers a field and she buys it. So she's responsible with her money. With the fruit of her hands, she plants a vineyard. She dresses herself with strength and makes her arms strong. She perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp, so she's a hard worker, and she understands that the things that she's investing in have value. So she's not just being frivolous. She's not just flitting around from here to there on different kinds of hobbies and different kinds of things. She is investing her time and her energy on things that are going to bring honor to her household, that are going to support her family, and there's no shame in that. So it says she dresses herself with strength. She makes her arms strong. She perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night. She puts her hand to the distaff and her hands hold the spindle. She opens her hand to the poor. She reaches out her hands to the needy. So she's not just doing this work to support her family. She's doing this work to be generous and to support people who might not have as much. And so she is aware of what her talents are and what her gifts are, and she doesn't neglect those things, but she also doesn't just use those things for her own benefit. She's not just saying, look at me and come buy my things so that we can be wealthy and have all of these nice things. Even though it does say she's not afraid of snow for her household, and all her household are clothed in scarlet. She makes bed coverings for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. And purple back then was a symbol of wealth, because in order to have the dye, you had to have some wealth along with that. She makes linen garments and she sells them. She delivers sashes to the merchants. So she is wise with her time. She is wise with her gifts. She looks for ways to serve her community and the people around her that don't have as much. She's not idle. She doesn't sleep in. She doesn't stay up late. And I know I've done this before, but she's not someone that's going to be binge watching Netflix, you know. She is being industrious with her time. So I read through this, and I was home with my daughter. I knew I had these skills and these gifts that God had given me. And someone had given me a gift that had really blessed my home. And I thought, how can I be a wife of noble character with the gifts that God has given me in a way that blesses my home and also gives me a way to bless the people around me, not just by sharing essential oils and education with them, which is what I love to do, but also to provide for them, to be able to give more abundantly and more generously than we've been able to give before. My husband was a teacher and I was at home, so we had a very limited income, but my heart was really to support those who are in ministry, who are doing missions. We had someone come stay with us at one time who needed a place to stay until she could. She was pregnant, and her parents were kicking her out because they did not approve. So she came and stayed with us for a while she could get on her feet. But it's always been that desire of mine to find ways to really serve the people in my life for the glory of God. And so whatever business God led me to, I knew that it would have to be something that brought him honor and glory, something where I could say, I'm doing this. It doesn't matter if you buy from me. It doesn't matter if you even want to try. It doesn't matter. My goal is to support you wherever you are at, wherever you find yourself in your life, in your health journey. Maybe you don't want to use essential oils. That's okay. I can tell you to choose apples instead of something less healthy. So there's so many different ways to support people and encourage other moms, other friends, maybe that don't have kids of any age, when we are doing it in a way that truly desires to serve the people around us. And I think God brings us to, when we want to honor God with every area of our lives, he shows us how to do that, right? He says, look at this person I put in your life. Now, you can serve them. I've given you gifts and I've given you talents. Are you being responsible? Are you being a good steward of the talents and gifts I've given you? And there's been so many times where I've not been sure how to do that. I don't know how to be a good steward of all the things that God has given me. He's given me 4 kids. He's given me an amazing husband. He's given me so many relationships in my life and a home, and the income that he's provided through the business that he's blessed us with. I don't know how to take care of that. I don't feel like I'm that wise, but I love that God says to come to him and to seek him when we need wisdom. And he will teach us how to be good stewards and how to take care of all these things that he has given us, because that is our testimony. That becomes our testimony to others. Look at what God has done. Look at what he is doing. Look at how faithful he is to provide for us, not just physically, not just through physical things, but for our life and for our salvation. And he has gone above and beyond what we could ever ask or imagine to give us everything we could possibly need for hope, for joy, for fulfillment, for peace. And that's really my end goal for doing anything, for doing this business, for bringing people into the community that he has created, is how can I serve them for the glory of God? How can I show up and be faithful to him and proclaim what he has done in my life through all of these things? And it's been such an amazing journey. And I've loved that doing this business just gives me more opportunities to serve people in ways that I never even considered, 10 years ago when I was pregnant, when I was thinking about staying home with my daughter after teaching. It never occurred to me that this was going to be a platform where I could minister and serve people and share the gospel, So it really influences all of my motivations for doing this business. When I reach out to someone and I say, hey, do you want to try essential oils? It might not be that's not my end purpose. My end purpose is, can I have a connection with you? Can I support you and encourage you? And even if you aren't just interested in oils, can I just pray for you and help you get through this time that you are having difficulties with? So I know a lot of people in direct sales, it's all about the product, sell the product. But for me, that's just one piece. The end goal is to really serve and to connect with the people around me. So it's been different than what I've seen a lot of other people do. And I shared with you a little bit ago that I see a lot of self-promotion in network marketing. A lot of people trying to get people to join their team because their team is flashier and more exciting. And I know a lot of people inflate their numbers to try to attract people. They inflate their own capabilities to try to convince people to invest a lot of money in something, and it just doesn't honor the Lord to do those things. And what's most important is he is lifted up and he is made much of in everything that we do. So it's not about me and doing this business. It comes back to he brings the people into my life that I get to serve. He makes these connections, and he brought you into my life, and you have given me this chance to share what he has done and to share his faithfulness to me and my family. So I'm just always constantly amazed at how he has been working behind the scenes. Even sometimes I don't even realize what he is doing. And then he says, look, I'm going to put you in front of 2,000 people and you're going to have all these new connections. But you need to be faithful and you need to honor me through that. So I'm so thankful for you, Kat, and for this, for how you're showing up as well as a faithful sister in Christ with a desire to serve people and to make his word known, to make his truth known, and to give people hope, especially in a time like this.
Yeah. Oh, that was so beautiful. And it's so neat how we ended up kind of in the same spot where our number one goal is God and people. But I went through on a completely different journey that I think everybody's already heard, but I kind of got lost and went off the trail and woke up and I realized that peace isn't out there, right? Peace is by being at one with your Father. And so my passion is similar to yours. I just want to pray for people. I want to help people, provide them hope in this crazy world. Let them know that they don't have to remain stuck. You know, we have options for you. It's not that hard to run a business from home. And in fact, it's fun, right? There are people who would put people first and not not the business first.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, it's just, and working with Amanda is such a breath of fresh air. She has beautiful recipes and she's always sharing with the community. And I love it. If anybody out there is curious about oils, or you've been wondering what is the big hype, what's going on, how can I save money or be healthier, please reach out to us. I'd love to plug you in and you can learn about the recipes and learn how you can save money and learn about how we're changing the world one person at a time just by putting God first and giving him the glory, you know?
Yeah. So one thing I do to offer this education for free to anyone, I have a group. It's called the Healthy Living Oil Education Group. It's here on Facebook, and anyone is welcome to join. It's open to everybody. So whether you have essential oils at home, whether you're curious about essential oils and you just want to learn, maybe you have questions about whether they can help you with certain things, this group is open to anybody, and anyone can ask questions, and it's filled with other people who are so helpful, and they will help answer your questions as well. And there's so many recipes and videos, and I love being able to provide that content for free as a way to serve people who are really looking to improve their quality of life, and to make those connections and build those relationships for people who maybe are just wanting to learn. I do have a separate amazing community of people who do have essential oils in their home, who have gotten their own wholesale account with me or someone on my team. And I love being able to serve that community as well. But the cool thing about this business and what I do with doTERRA is that it's all education based. So I trust that the people in my life are smart and can make those wise choices for themselves when they have the information that they need. So that's what I want to provide, is the information. And I'm so thankful that this isn't it is a products-based business for sure, because obviously these products have changed my life and helped us be healthier. I shared yesterday about how we haven't used conventional bug spray in like 10 years because all we use is the essential oils, and they work. We don't get bites, and we're here in Texas with giant mosquitoes. But there are really these natural options that God has put on this earth that he made, that he knew would help our bodies, that he knew would keep bugs away. Like he's not surprised by any of this. He knew that that peppermint would help soothe a stomach ache, or that lavender would help soothe an itchy, concern on our skin. He knew that plants benefited our bodies when he put them on this earth. So it's just been a really cool way to share that education with people and share that God created all that we see in nature, and he made those plants very specifically with those specific properties on purpose. It's not an accident. He created those. And so when people come to me and they say, oh, essential oils they don't work, or they're like voodoo hippie, I'm like, excuse me, God created those plants. Don't attribute something to the enemy that God has created for good. So I love that this is knowledge and that I can share, and encouragement that I can provide for people who are just wanting to learn. And my community is also filled with the same encouraging, supportive people. And I know it's that God has put those people in my life to serve others. And it's just been so incredible.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you. I always appreciate your time, and I always love talking with you, and we have these beautiful communities. So please don't sit there and be shy and curious, or, curious and not ask.
Yes, definitely.
We're not going to sprinkle you with something or talk you into anything. We're going to educate you, as Amanda said, so that you can make an informed decision for you and your family. And it is God's medicine. I say that all the time to everybody. I'm like, it's God's medicine. He knew that oregano was antiviral. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? And that tea tree killed funguses and that citronella fended off mosquitoes. And
Right. I mean, these plants have been here since the beginning of time.
yes.
So what did people use before we could go to Walgreens and grab something off the shelf? They used plants,
They
you
did.
know, and it took people learning about plants to know how to use them, but God knew how to use them. And so I love that. Part of why I love doTERRA specifically is that they do so much research and they make so much research available that show how these essential oils interact with our bodies. And every time there's like this new revelation, like you're saying tea tree oil, oh my gosh, it's antifungal. God's like, yes,
Yeah.
you know, it is. So I feel like we find these things out, but God already knew that these plants had these benefits. And it's just up to us to learn how to use them safely and so that we can get the most benefit out of them. And so that's what I do is I love being able to research and share that knowledge, especially because I realize people are busy, people have a lot going on, and maybe they don't have hours and hours of time to pour into learning about how these plants work. Well, I'm going to do that for you. And I want you to be able to experience all those benefits and be able to use things that are more natural, closer to what God designed. Not that modern medicine is not a good thing. We definitely are blessed having so many options for things. But if we can take care of it with something that's more natural, that has fewer side effects, that is less expensive, then by all means, like, let's do that instead. So we can be a better steward of our bodies, a better steward of our finances, and use what God has given us in the best ways.
Yeah, I love it. Well, you guys don't be shy. Reach out. We love questions. We truly view them as a gift, and we love people, love God, love people, and we would love to share education with you.
Yeah, so I can link up that group in the comments here.
Okay.
After we get finished so that people can find it easier.
Yeah, so just click and let us know how we can help you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.